Is it me you're looking for?
ASMR.
We're gonna do a...
Yeah.
What? Why would you do that? For your gum? Lucas. Lucas! When are you... Hard-hitting question. When are you gonna come out with the Lucas compilation, The people want that. The people would like to see
I
it.
will do that for a bonus video soon, but...
Soon?
Zoom. Yes, soon.
Okay.
This is the coldest water.
I know because that... I know that thing makes it cold as shit.
Oh my fucking god, that was so fucking cold and refreshing.
Did you have to say fuck in between every other word?
What the fuck are you fucking talking about?
Are you fucking kidding me?
We have a pod! I'm kidding, no, we don't.
We have a pod for today.
For today's video.
And if you guys like it, we might do more pod episodes. Ooh.
My luck. This is like my first time doing this, like, actually. Because you're kind of used to it.
I know. I've been practicing a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so what's our podcast called?
Ooh, what is our podcast called?
Best Bros.
The Best Bro Podcast.
The Best Bro Podcast.
The podcast where you and your best bro can sit down
And do anything for
and do anything for each other. That's amazing. That's good.
So welcome to the Best Bro Podcast. I'm your host, Lucas.
Oh, you're our host?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
And then we have the lovely Triana.
Yes. Ooh, thank you. And then you have to put a clapping soundtrack.
Yeah!
Yeah! Go Tree! And Luke.
Oh, Luke is better. I would prefer Luke.
Tree and Luke?
Like, call me the host. My host name is Luke, and if you call me anything else, we
Sit
stop.
in the back of the class.
But today we're going to start with some ASMR.
Oh, yes,
Because
absolutely.
these sound crisp.
They're crispy, lithith.
So you go first.
I
Do
haven't-
any sound. Actually, I'm going to give you...
Yeah, tell me what to do because I can't think for myself.
Okay, pretend you're whispering
Okay.
into my ear
Oh.
something nice about me.
Oh, okay.
Should I put on the headphones for this?
Yeah, do it.
Go ahead.
Lucas, I think you're a wonderful person and you have an extraordinary personality. You are full of love and light and you brighten my day each and every day.
So nice and soothing, and the words are nice.
What about me?
Oh, I have to do it too. Tree, I love you to the moon and back. You are one of the best people I know, and I'm forever grateful that you are in my life.
Oh my god. I feel like if anybody needs to not be depressed anymore, literally just get your friend to whisper nice things into your ear.
And now I think what's the best part we can do is do it to you guys.
Oh, should
Right?
we? Should we? Okay. Hey, I know this is sudden, but I have to tell you that I love you.
We also wanted to thank you for being here and listening and watching us. Cause what the fuck? That's crazy.
It is crazy, but you know what's crazier?
What?
The love that we have for each and every one of you.
Yeah.
You're all sexy.
Very.
Like, incredibly so.
Like 10 out of 10.
Like, 11 out of 10. Like, super sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now we're gonna do random noises
okay.
to celebrate you being here with us today.
Did you say random noises?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that then.
3, 2. Let's play a song. Don't stop believing. Anything. Don't stop believing.
Hold on to that feeling. Street light people.
I think that's a good segment.
That
I
is a
feel like
great
that's something we
segment.
could have, like, because it also, like, relaxed me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
I love whispering. It's calming. But did you know, for all of you that don't know, for all of you at home, I used to study speech pathology. And I recently found out that whispering is actually bad for your vocal folds. Yeah.
Vocal what?
Folds.
Oh, I thought that was like, okay. Damn, really?
Because it's not vocal cords. They're folds. They go like this.
Oh, okay.
They'll kind of look like vaginas in your throat.
Did you
No
see them?
wonder it's called oral sex. Am I right? Bada bing.
Oh my god. How did you know it looked like that? Did you Google these pictures?
What are you talking about, King? I studied this for 2 years.
Oh. I didn't assume like that was a thing for speech pathology. I don't know why I always thought it was just like the way people talk.
Well,
But how do they
we
talk with
their vocal folds?
Yeah,
And like,
that's
how do
so
we
cool.
know what happens like when
Mhm.
you talk? Like, you have to. It's vibrations.
And it's happening right now.
Opens and closes and opens.
And look, if I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, my
And then I do this, and it's so crazy. We can just do things with our minds. But yeah, so whispering is bad. Yelling is bad. Talking is okay.
talking is okay. You love to talk.
I do love to talk. I do love to talk.
Imagine would you go a whole day without talking?
No.
Really?
Yes.
What
could.
if you, like-
Actually, you're right. I could.
You could, right?
Because the thing is that I'm very both ends of the introverted / extroverted spectrum. Like, I'm very extroverted when I'm with people and I'm like, yeah, I love it. I love being with people. But then when I'm with people I don't know, I'm like, you can't get a word out of me. I used to be those like kids that I was like, fuck, I talk so much. I'm gonna go the whole day without talking and no one's gonna be annoyed with me anymore. And then like second period comes along and I'm talking up a storm to like my freaking classmate. So maybe I couldn't. I'm silent sometimes because I live alone.
Oh.
And I get silent because it's lonely sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you ever get lonely, Lucas?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
When I'm lonely?
Yeah.
Cause I don't know. Is there a difference with alone and lonely?
Absolutely.
So can you explain that to me?
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that you can be alone,
Mhm.
but not lonely. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does it actually?
No, say it again.
Lucas?
Say it. My ADHD heard the vibration.
Heard the vibration. But yes, I think that you can be alone and not lonely.
Okay.
I think that there is power that comes with being alone.
Mhm.
There is a beauty in being alone,
Yeah.
but there's a lot less beauty and a lot less power in being lonely, because when you're lonely, it becomes a perpetual thing. So it's something that I can be alone and I can go through my day and do it alone, but I can still be content and I can still be satisfied with that aloneness, you know, that I get to be independent and I get to do things myself and I don't quote unquote need help. Now, being lonely, I feel like there is a dissatisfaction in that. There is an idea that you're supposed to be with others and you're supposed to have somebody and you're supposed to, when the reality is that there is no such thing as supposed to. There's just life, really.
There is, yeah.
So when you're lonely, you're kind of, I would say, at a crossroads where you're not satisfied with the comfort of being by yourself because you want so much to be with others. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like I just went in a circle. But it's okay.
But to answer, yes, I'm usually alone and I'm pretty content with being alone.
Absolutely. You, of everyone I know.
But there are like weeks where like 5 days will pass by and I've been alone and I'll feel lonely and I'm like, oh, you know. But no, I truly do crave being by myself because I really do just like to have my own time to have my own thoughts in a space where like no one expects anything from me.
There is definitely something really nice about being alone. There is something kind of fulfilling about being able to do things on your own. I've been alone for a long time, I think, and I've had a really big struggle with it. I've always been somebody that craves like social interaction. I've always craved it. I've always loved it. I've always wanted to be around people. I've always wanted to see others. I've loved seeing people and being with people. And there has always been a struggle since I was little of being alone. And I've struggled with the idea that if I'm alone, does that mean no one wants me? Does that mean that I'm not good enough? And it isn't until recently that I've realized that that's not true. That is not true at all. Being alone can very much be something that teaches you so much about not only yourself, but the interactions that you have with others. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Why do I crave this? Why am I acting this way? You know? That type of self-discovery just comes from being alone.
Yeah.
You can definitely do it with others, but I would say the truest and purest form of self-discovery comes from your thoughts when you're by yourself and it's raw. And there's no one else to influence you. There's no one else to steer you a certain direction. There's no one else to kind of have that pressure, distractions. There is just you and the world.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. And that's something that I do appreciate more and more each day, for sure, is the concept of being alone, What would you have to say to people that feel that way now? That feel like they are not only alone, but they are lonely?
That is like okay. I feel like there's a stigma where it's like not okay to be lonely or alone. I think you have to like realize that like those moments are important and that they are valid. And that it's okay. Absolutely. I don't know, because I feel like every time I was like alone or lonely, I felt like I feel kind of like weak.
Okay. Inadequate.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the better word. But it's not.
It's not. Absolutely.
It's not. It's okay to want to be alone. You need that space for yourself. Absolutely. And I think everyone should take it as they can.
And I love that you said that it's valid.
Yes,
it is so valid. It is so valid. That's like my favorite word.
Yes, I love that word.
Is valid. Because at the end of the day, you can feel like you are alone and you can feel like you are lonely. And at the end of the day, it's valid. It is so valid. Like, I feel like a lot of our emotions, the reason why we feel so bad about feeling things like being alone is because we beat ourselves up about feeling those ways. But there is something so genuine and so valid with feeling your emotions. Absolutely. To the truest extent. I've always said, every time somebody has ever talked to me about the way that they felt and they felt like, why am I feeling this way? Why should I be doing this? Like, why am I not doing this? I should be feeling this certain way. I tell them, you know what? At the end of the day, your emotions are valid.
Absolutely.
They are valid because you feel them. You're a person. You are a person and you have so much to offer. So don't feel bad about feeling things ever. They're natural. They're natural occurrences. You are a person and your brain just shoots like electricity in a certain way and makes you feel a certain way. Your brain is going to shoot electricity this way and it's going to make you happy. Your brain is going to shoot electricity that way and it's going to make you sad. And you don't have control over that. It's just your body doing its thing. So why make yourself feel bad for things that are natural and valid?
Having emotions also makes you a human being.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, like, you're just there.
Yeah. You're just a shell.
You're just a shell, yeah. So.
Being a human is cool.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's cool.
So weird as fuck.
What is
like, these are actual
things
that like I'll be like, it just does it because I'm telling it to, but like my body just does it. I don't know.
You're just controlling it, but like in like a matter of like 1 second like, or
what
less.
The fuck, dude?
What would you say is your favorite part about being a human?
I'd like to think it's like the connection I can make with other humans.
Absolutely. That was my answer.
Oh.
But no, elaborate. I would love to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah, it's like that I'm able to have like a closeness with like a person that I really love, like you or something. Like yesterday when we were just like laying on the couch, I was like, damn, I love this. I love these moments with music in the background, Tame Impala. Like just that, like that I'm able to like do that with people that also have a body.
And have their own separate emotions.
Exactly.
And their own separate lives. I feel like everybody is a conglomeration of like every experience they've ever had.
Yeah.
And everything they do and everything they say is a reflection of those experiences. And it's so interesting to see that face to face. I go out with 5 friends and every single friend has a story and has a life that has influenced the way that they act towards me in that moment. And that's so interesting. During the peak of the coronavirus, like around April-ish, I remember that I would take walks like almost every day in this nature trail that was right by my house.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And I remember walking in the nature trail and I would see a family. And the mom and dad would be walking behind their kids and the kids would be scootering and playing around. And then I'd walk a few hundred feet later and I'd see somebody running. And every single one of those people that I passed by has a life and a story of their own.
Yeah. There's a word for that. Did you know?
What?
So let me find that. Like whenever, every single time I'm like outside in Miami, let's say New York, and we see buildings with lights, every single light has people.
Has a story.
And has a story.
And every single light has a story of how that person got to that specific light. Like that specific room.
Light, that specific
that
room,
specific
absolutely.
building, you know, how did they get there? And everybody has their own individual story behind how they got into the same building. That's crazy.
The term sonder, let me make sure, has been noted as well for its relation to other people. Its definition meaning the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own.
Wow.
Sonder.
That's crazy. I think you more than me have sonder.
Yeah,
I think
so.
You are a lot more aware of the little things in life. You're always coming up to me being like, isn't it so crazy that
Every single time, yeah.
bleep 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 bleep, and then just something like small and I'm like, that is crazy.
I definitely like to like look at things and like
You love to observe. You're more of an observer and I'm more of a like talker.
Exactly.
And do you think that's why we work so well together?
Maybe.
That's the thing that I want to touch on is why do opposites attract? Because you and I, complete opposites.
We're so different.
Complete opposites.